Word in the concrete jungle is the black bears are growing endangered. I think these facts come from the Muppet Show, because I see it completely different in my neck of the woods. Twice just recently, I've had them come sneaking right into my camp in broad daylight. They left in a hurry when they saw I was there, but had it have been one of them rowdy ones, there's no telling how that would have turned out. Back in the early 80s, there used to be a 5-bear bag limit. We used to shoot quite a few of them then and sell their flea-bitten hides to the tannery. But now few people even hunt them, and they're losing their fear of man. I would guess the concrete jungle people would like that, but I sure don't. Don't get me wrong, I like the black bear as much as the next guy, but they are getting a little thick again. I'm just saying. And them bear steaks are sure good. I'm one of those lucky guys who has a good friend that lets me camp and hunt on his land. With black bears, wolves, deer, and elk, it's a place I love to spend my spare time. I grew up on mule deer meat, and if one of these guys gets too close to me early in the fall before the rut, he'll end up in my deep freeze. When I was a kid, my dad would give me $2 to hide for squirrels. I see now why I was making my fortune. Did I mention? When you're in elk country, you are usually in grizzly country too. When I come across one of these, or signs of one, I'd like to say the only good bear is a dead bear. Of course, I don't really mean that, but with only a bow and arrow in my hands, the grizzly really does give me the creeps. With a crosswind and the creek first sound barrier, I don't think he will detect me. And if he did detect me, he might run the other way. Maybe. That explains a lot. Another $2. You can imagine how I felt when I saw this the evening before elk season opened. Just a short stroll from camp, I come across this cow and a 5-point bull. If he did get close enough, I would definitely put an arrow in him. That was sure nice to see. I never did see him again. So in the morning I headed in the direction of that 5-pointer, gave a short cow call, and waited to see if the bull would come in. About a half hour, nothing. So I made my way in the direction I heard the bugle. A short hike and a cow call, I spotted this calf coming towards me. It sounded like a different bull altogether. I don't think this little guy even knows he's a bull, but he does know something's up. And he has me pinned, so all I can do is just wait him out. Sometimes you really have to be patient. If I spook him and he goes running in a panic past other elk, it would ruin my chances for today. I swear these critters can stand in one spot all day if they had a mind to. And this guy seems to have a mind to. Wouldn't you know it? My leg was getting a Charlie horse, and I had to move just as things were starting to happen. busted. Never could have gotten an arrow through that brush anyway. The next morning, not only did I hear the first bull, but I found myself in the middle of his cows. I think they suspected something fishy and they made their way out of sight. I never did see that bull. That sounded like a different bull than the one I had started after. I think I heard what sounded like 3 different bulls now. I was unsure of my calling skills, so I just kept it simple. And I knew my bugling sucked, so I didn't even try. He didn't look as big as I figured he'd be. Maybe he's a satellite getting in the thick of things. I could hear a few cows with him, so I didn't dare move. All them extra eyes. I just watched as he went out of sight and thought things were over for now. But he found another cow, and he sent her back towards where he came from. That sounded like the bull I heard the first morning, I think. And they are headed in his direction. If I had more confidence in my calling, I'm sure I could really get things going. but I was getting enough action as it was and thought I could get closer without spooking them. So if I press on, maybe I could get a crack at that herd bull. I even hear another bull way in the background. Those two bulls sound like they're headed for a collision course. I was fairly sure I was undetected. I run into a few more bulls with my cow call. I knew I had to learn more about these critters. When a bull showed up, I didn't want to take any chances on spooking them. I was torn between video and arrow. When I was younger, they used to brag me up for shooting grouse and deer for my family's meat. But now with all the hatred spread about hunters and hunting, I feel like I should be keeping my head down. I still feel it's a far healthier way to get our meat supply. I finally came across the bull I heard the very first morning. He never presented a good shot, so I just watched as it disappeared. He'll make a good breeder anyway. I felt my elk season was a success, even though I never got one. I'm sure with a rifle things would have been different. And the concrete jungle people, I hope they get a chance to experience the true nature of things on this great creation. God bless.